Welcome back to Le Podcast de Philippe. So today we're doing a deep dive into all the hype surrounding this new DJI Flip drone.
Yeah.
We've we've got some articles and a couple of YouTube reviews,
Yeah.
and I thought this would be a good one to take a closer look at and kind of see, all the buzz is about.
Yeah, it seems like it's really specifically targeted towards content creators.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's what makes it so interesting. I mean, DJI, obviously they make drones for all sorts of purposes, but this one seems like they're really honing in on like
Yeah.
that vlogging travel, kind of
Yeah, the portability.
the portability. Yeah, exactly. Like right away, what caught my eye was the foldable propeller guards.
Oh, yeah.
And they're made out of lightweight carbon fiber too. So
Yeah, those look really cool, and I think that's a big step forward in terms of safety too, having them fold away compactly.
yeah.
Not like those big polycarbonate guards we used to see on the older models.
Yeah, exactly. And you think about like throwing this in your backpack or,
Yeah. Just traveling with it. It's
exactly. And the fact that it's under 249 grams, I mean,
huge.
it's huge.
Yeah.
It bypasses all those drone regulations in a lot of countries.
Yeah, which is great for people who are just, casual users or travelers.
Totally.
They don't have to worry about all the red tape.
And I mean, 31 minutes of flight time, that's pretty impressive too.
That is a lot, yeah, for such a small drone.
Yeah, you could get a whole sunset time lapse,
Yeah.
and not have to worry about swapping batteries.
Yeah, exactly.
So right off the bat, I mean, that was pretty impressive to me.
Yeah, and the camera specs are no joke either.
Oh yeah, tell me about those.
I mean, you're looking at a 11.3-inch CMOS sensor
Okay.
capable of 48 megapixel photos,
Wow,
4K HDR video at 60 frames per second.
that's amazing.
It even does slow motion at 4K 100 frames per second.
Yeah, it's like they took a professional level camera and just like shrunk it down
Yeah, it's
into this tiny little package.
and they didn't skimp on the color profile either.
Yeah. Oh, tell me about that.
So it's got this 10-bit D-Log-M color profile,
Oh, interesting. Okay.
which is really good for post-production.
Okay.
Gives you a lot more control over the color grading, and you can really get that cinematic look.
So even though it's, aimed at kind of like ease of use and portability, they're not like skimping on the features that the pros would want.
Not at all.
Yeah, that's cool. And, speaking of pro features, I was reading about the focus track stuff.
Oh, yeah?
Active Track 4.0, Spotlight 2.0, Point of Interest 3.0.
Yeah. I mean, usually we only see that kind of intelligent tracking in the pro models.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder if this is kind of the beginning of the end for the Mini Pro line.
That's what I was thinking. It's like
Yeah. Are they
are they trying to phase those out, and this is like the new
the replacement?
the replacement. Wow.
It's interesting.
That's a bold move.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's switch gears a little bit and talk about what makes this, really stand out for content creators.
Sure.
And one of the things that I was looking at was the intelligent flight modes,
Yeah, those are pretty cool.
like the master shots, for example. I mean, that seems
Yeah, it's basically like an automatic
Yeah.
director.
yeah. You just tell it what to do, and it
Yeah.
creates these like cinematic sequences.
Yeah, exactly.
And then the hyperlapse for like the 4K time lapse videos. I mean,
That's perfect for showcasing landscapes and
yeah, exactly.
cityscapes and things like that.
Yeah, it's like they really designed this with like the solo creator in mind.
Yeah.
You don't need a whole film crew to get these like.
Yeah, you can get really stunning footage just
Yes.
by yourself.
That's amazing. Okay, so and then of course you've got the vertical 4.3 video format.
Oh, yeah, that's huge for social media.
Yeah, they knew what they were doing there, right?
Yeah, absolutely. No more cropping or black bars. When you're uploading to TikTok or Instagram.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's like clearly they're going after that.
Yeah, that mobile-first audience.
That mobile first content creator.
For sure.
Okay, so but what about like the connectivity? What if you're out,
Yeah.
in the field somewhere and you're far away from your phone?
Yeah, well, the O4 video transmission,
Oh yeah.
it's got a range of up to 13 kilometers
Wow. Okay.
in 1080p, 60 frames per second.
That's impressive.
So you can be pretty far away and still have a really stable connection.
Okay. And then in terms of like actually controlling it, I mean, you've got the DJI RCN3 and RC2 controllers.
Yeah.
You've got the DJI Fly app. You could even do voice control
Yeah.
if you want to go hands-free.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So it's like they've really given you a lot of options there.
Yeah, they have.
All right, so let's talk about price, because
Right.
I mean, that's always a big factor, right?
It is.
So the standard version with the RC2 controller is €639.
Yeah, that's actually really competitive.
Yeah.
when you consider all the features you get
Yeah.
for that price.
Okay, and then for the people who want the whole shebang, you've got the Fly More combo
Mm-hmm.
with the extra batteries and the charging dock. That's 779 year.
Yeah, and you can always add on DJI Care Refresh, too, if you want that.
Yeah, for that extra peace
For
of
the
mind.
extra peace of mind, yeah.
Okay, so it seems like they're really trying to make this accessible
Yeah,
to a wide range of people.
definitely.
Okay, so we've talked about the specs, we've talked about the features, but what are people actually saying?
Yeah, let's get into some of these reviews.
Yeah, let's see what the YouTubers are saying.
All right, so we found a couple of good ones.
Okay.
One of them was really impressed with the image quality, the portability,
Okay.
and all the safety features and the intelligent flight modes.
They're really liking that combination.
Yeah, they were really highlighting how this is like a game changer for solo creators
Okay.
who want to get really professional looking footage.
Yeah, I can see that like for vloggers and travelers and anybody who's just kind of out there on their own
Yeah,
trying to capture their adventures.
it's perfect for that.
Okay, so that's the positive side, but what about the other side of the coin?
Well, there were definitely some criticisms.
Okay.
Another YouTuber that we watched, they
Yeah.
had some reservations.
Okay. I'm curious, what were they not so happy about?
Well, one of the things they mentioned was that the drone is actually quite noisy.
Oh, so there's a trade-off for that compact size.
It seems like yeah.
Okay.
And they weren't really sold on the whole pocket-sized marketing either.
Oh, really?
They said it's compact when it's folded, but it's not something you can just like easily slip into your pocket.
Okay, so it's portable,
Yeah.
but maybe not as pocket-friendly as they make it sound?
Right.
Okay. And what about the AI features? Did those live up to the hype?
That's where things get interesting.
Okay.
This YouTuber was a little bit disappointed with the LiDAR sensor
Okay.
and the AI-powered obstacle avoidance.
I didn't think it was as advanced as they were expecting.
So maybe the smart features aren't quite as smart as they could be.
It seems that way.
Yeah, okay, what was like the most surprising criticism that you came across?
Well, they actually compared the AI to that of a coffee maker.
Oh, wow. That's harsh.
Yeah.
But I guess it just goes to show that, different people have different expectations.
Right.
Especially if you're...
Yeah, if you're a seasoned drone user.
Yeah, you're going to have a different perspective than someone who's just starting out. Exactly. So it sounds like, it's not a perfect drone.
Right.
It's got its strengths and weaknesses.
like anything.
Like anything, yeah.
Yeah.
So where do we go from here? What should our listeners be thinking about as we
Right.
continue this deep dive?
I think the big question is,
Yeah.
who is this drone really for?
Yeah. Because it's clearly not for everybody.
Right.
And, it might not be for those experienced drone users who really want that, top-of-the-line AI and obstacle avoidance.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm.
But I mean, if you're someone who, prioritizes ease of use and portability,
Right.
maybe it's still a good option, especially at that price point.
Yeah. I mean, it depends on what you're looking for.
For sure. Were there any other drawbacks that they pointed out that we should be aware of?
Well, that same YouTuber who wasn't so keen on the AI,
Okay.
he also had some issues with the automated landing feature.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in one instance, the Flip tried to land on kind of an uneven surface,
Okay.
and it ended up tilting, which triggered its ADI mode.
Now, for those who aren't familiar with all the drone lingo,
Right.
what exactly is ADI mode?
So basically, it switches the drone to like a semi-manual flight mode.
Okay. And so that can be a little bit tricky if you're a beginner.
It can be, yeah. And in this case, the YouTuber was actually distracted monitoring another drone. So he kind of momentarily lost control of the Flip.
Oh, no. Did it crash?
Yeah, it ended up falling about 15 meters.
Oof. I'm wincing just thinking about that.
Yeah, it was a pretty significant fall.
Was the drone?
Surprisingly, yes. The Flip survived
Wow.
with minimal damage.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it definitely speaks to the drone's durability,
Yeah.
but it also kind of raises some concerns about those automated features.
Yeah, you can't just set it and forget it.
Right, exactly. You still need to be an attentive pilot.
Okay, so it's not a foolproof system.
Not completely, no.
Okay, well, that's good to know.
Yeah,
But I mean, hey, at least it's durable, right? It can take a hit.
it can. And that first YouTuber we talked about?
Yeah.
The one who was really positive about the Flip for solo creators?
Uh-huh.
He actually had a really good experience using it for indoor filming.
Oh, interesting.
Okay.
So maybe it's not the best for avoiding trees and power lines,
Right.
but in a more controlled environment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, he found that the Flip's compact size and those safety features made it really ideal for capturing shots in tight spaces.
Oh, that makes sense. Like warehouses or studios?
Yeah, or even like inside people's homes,
Yeah.
without the risk of damaging property or injuring someone.
So that opens up a lot of creative possibilities,
Yeah.
especially for like real estate agents or indie filmmakers.
Yeah, anyone who needs to film in those confined spaces.
Yeah, that's cool. What else did they say? Anything else that stood out to you?
Well, they were also really impressed with how well the Flip handled wind.
Okay, that's good to know.
They said it remained really stable, even in some pretty breezy conditions.
That's reassuring, especially for beginners who might be a little bit hesitant to fly
Mhm.
in like less than ideal weather.
Exactly. And they also talked about the transmission range.
Oh yeah, right. We talked about that earlier.
Yeah.
That 13-kilometer range.
Yeah, they really emphasize how important that is,
Yeah.
especially when you're exploring vast landscapes or following a moving subject. And they were really confident in that OcuSync 4 technology. They said you can fly pretty far out without worrying about losing connection.
That's good to know for those epic cinematic shots.
Exactly.
So it sounds like this YouTuber was pretty happy with it overall.
Yeah, they were definitely positive.
Did they have any like advice for potential buyers?
They strongly recommended opting for the Fly More combo.
Okay, which is the one with the extra batteries
Right.
and the charging dock.
Which makes sense. If you've got 31 minutes of flight time,
Yeah, you're going to want those extra batteries.
having those extra batteries is going to really extend your shooting time.
Totally.
Yeah.
But what really stood out to me was they were talking about how, the Flip has the potential to really democratize aerial filmmaking.
Yeah, they were really excited about that. They
Yeah.
said it's a game changer for anyone who wants to incorporate drone footage into their work
Yeah.
without breaking the bank.
Yeah, that's really cool. So it's like this empowering tool for a whole new generation of content creators. Awesome. Okay, well, let's circle back to that second YouTuber,
Okay.
the one who was a little bit more critical.
Right.
Did they have any other concerns besides, the noise level, the pocket size claim, and the AI?
They did. They actually expressed some doubts about the Flip's overall value proposition
Okay.
compared to some of the other drones in DJI's lineup,
Yeah, such as.
specifically the Mini 4 Pro.
Okay, I'm curious to hear their reasoning there.
So they were basically arguing that the Mini 4 Pro,
Yeah.
despite being a bit larger
Yeah.
and more expensive,
Yeah.
it offers significantly better features and performance.
Okay. In what ways?
Well, they specifically called out the Mini 4 Pro's superior camera.
Okay.
It's more advanced AI
Uh-huh.
and just overall smoother flying experience.
Okay, so I mean, that's a fair comparison.
Yeah,
If you're willing to invest a little bit more and you really want those advanced features,
right.
maybe the Mini 4 Pro is the way to go.
Yeah, and they made a good point about the target audience. They felt like the Flip might be a good starting point for beginners,
Uh-huh.
but more experienced drone users might quickly outgrow its limitations.
So it's like a stepping stone, not the final destination.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Interesting. But even with those reservations, did they see any redeeming qualities in the Flip?
They did. They admitted that it's a decent option for casual footage
Okay.
and just experimenting with drone photography and videography.
Mm-hmm.
They acknowledged that the camera, while not as good as the Mini 4 Pros,
Yeah.
it can still produce decent quality images and videos,
Okay.
especially in good lighting.
And they liked those creative flight modes, right?
They did, yeah. The master shots and the hyperlapse.
So we're creating, visually engaging content
Right.
without a lot of effort.
Yeah, they acknowledged the potential there.
Okay, cool. Did they have any other specific criticisms or?
Well, actually, they did point out one limitation that might be a deal breaker for some content creators.
Okay, what's that?
The Flip's camera can't switch to a 9.16 aspect ratio. Oh, really?
Without cropping the image.
Oh, that's kind of a bummer.
Yeah, especially for TikTok and Instagram stories.
Yeah, you need that 9.16.
You need that vertical video.
Yeah, it seems like a strange omission for a drone that's, supposed to be geared towards content creators.
It does. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. So their final verdict was,
They basically said that potential buyers should really carefully consider their needs and their budget
okay,
before making a decision.
so do your research.
Exactly.
Know what you're looking for.
Right.
Know what you're willing to spend.
Yeah, and then decide if the Flip is the right fit.
Right, because it's not a universally perfect drone,
No, it's not.
but it has its strengths and weaknesses like any product.
Like anything.
Okay. So I guess the key takeaway here is to understand what you're looking for in a drone
Right.
and whether the Flip's features actually align with your needs.
Exactly.
Okay, so if portability, ease of use, and an attractive price point are your top priorities,
Right.
the Flip might be a good option.
It could be. But if you're really after cutting-edge AI,
Yeah.
a top-of-the-line camera, and the ability to shoot in all those different aspect ratios,
Right.
you might want to consider something else like the Mini 4 Pro.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to sum it up.
So the Flip is not a one-size-fits-all solution,
No,
but it's a valuable addition to the drone market.
I think so.
Okay, cool. So it's all about finding the right tool for the job.
Absolutely.
Okay. But let's step back for a moment and look at the bigger picture here.
Okay.
What does the release of the Flip say about the drone market as a whole?
That's a good question.
Do you think it signals a shift towards accessibility and user-friendliness?
I think it definitely suggests that drone technology is becoming more accessible to a wider audience.
Yeah, I agree.
Not just in terms of price, but also in terms of ease of use and portability.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it seems like DJI is intentionally lowering the barriers to entry
Yeah,
for aspiring drone pilots and content creators.
I agree.
But do you think that they might be sacrificing performance and features in the process?
That's the million-dollar question.
Yeah.
That second YouTuber we talked about,
Yeah.
he seemed to think so.
Real.
He felt like DJI kind of missed an opportunity to create a truly groundbreaking product
Okay.
by focusing too much on portability and affordability.
It's a valid point. I mean, it does seem like there are some trade-offs
Yeah.
in terms of, AI camera capabilities and even that missing 9.16 aspect ratio.
Right.
But maybe DJI is betting that the average consumer
Yeah.
is more interested in ease of use and convenience
Right.
than, cutting-edge specs.
I think that's possible.
Yeah, and for a lot of people, the Flip might be that perfect entry point
Right.
into the world of drone photography and videography.
Exactly.
It could be like the gateway drug to more advanced drones down the line.
Yeah, that's a good analogy.
But it's also possible that the Flip represents like a new category of drones,
Okay.
one that prioritizes accessibility and portability above all else.
Yeah, like they're creating a separate market for casual users who want to capture stunning aerial footage
Yeah.
without all the complexity and learning curve of a traditional drone.
And that market could be huge.
It could be.
I mean, imagine everyone being able to capture those like amazing drone shots that we see on social media.
Right.
It could totally change how we document our travels, our adventures, our lives.
That's a really interesting thought.
Yeah. It's exciting to think about the possibilities.
It is.
But I think we also need to be mindful of the potential downsides
Of course.
of this shift towards accessibility.
Yeah,
Could it lead to a decline in the overall quality of drone footage?
that's a valid concern.
If everyone is just focused on ease of use,
Yeah.
are we going to see a drop in the creativity and artistry of drone cinematography?
That's possible.
Yeah, but it's also possible that this new wave of drone enthusiasts
Right.
will bring, fresh perspectives,
Yeah.
innovative ideas to the field.
I agree. It's hard to say for sure.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh.
ultimately, the success of the Flip will depend on how well it resonates with consumers.
Right.
Are people willing to sacrifice some features and performance
Yeah.
for the convenience and the affordability that it offers?
That's the question.
That's the question. And to answer that question,
Yeah.
we need to hear from our listeners.
We do.
So we want to know your thoughts on the DJI Flip.
Yeah. Tell us what you think.
Do you think it's a game changer?
Is it a step in the wrong direction?
What are your hopes and concerns about the future of drone technology?
Yeah. Share your thoughts in the comments section below.
And while you're at it, subscribe to Le Podcast de Philippe on YouTube.
Yeah. For more deep dives into the world of technology and innovation.
Stay tuned for part 3 of our deep dive, where we'll wrap up our discussion
Yeah.
and explore some final thoughts on the DJI Flip
Right.
and its potential impact on the future of drone technology. All right, so welcome back to Le Podcast de Philippe. We're wrapping up our deep dive into the DJI Flip drone, and, we've talked about a lot.
Yeah.
The specs, the features, the pros, the cons.
Yeah, the good, the bad. Yeah.
Exactly, and it seems like there's a lot of debate
Yeah, for sure.
about, where this drone fits in
Yeah.
the market.
Is it a game changer or is it?
Yeah, is it a step in the wrong direction? Or is it just, kind of a niche product for a certain type of creator?
Yeah, I think it's still too early to say for sure.
Yeah, I agree. But one thing is clear, DJI is definitely pushing the boundaries.
Yeah, they're not afraid to experiment.
They're shaking things up, and I think that's always exciting to see.
For sure.
But it also, kind of raises these questions about the future of drone technology.
Right. Like, where do we go from here?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, based on everything we've talked about, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think the Flip is making us rethink what a good drone actually is.
Yeah, in what way?
It's not just about having the best camera or the most advanced AI anymore. It's about finding the right tool for the job.
Yeah,
And for a lot of people, the Flip might be that perfect tool.
especially if you're new to drones or you really prioritize that portability and ease of use.
Exactly. It could be a great way to kind of dip your toes into the world of aerial photography and videography.
Yeah, and who knows, maybe it'll spark a whole new wave of creativity.
I hope so.
Imagine a world where everyone can capture those stunning aerial shots that we see in professional productions.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Right.
But I think we also need to be realistic about the potential downsides.
Right.
Could this focus on accessibility lead to a decline in the quality of drone footage overall?
Yeah, it's a valid concern. It's a tough balance.
Yeah.
Making technology accessible while also maintaining a certain level of quality and artistry.
Yeah, I think ultimately competition and innovation will drive the market forward.
I agree.
As more and more people embrace drone technology,
Yeah.
we'll see new and creative applications emerge.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm optimistic. I'm excited to see what the future holds.
Me too.
But as we wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah.
I want to leave our listeners with one final thought.
Okay, I'm listening.
The DJI Flip. It's more than just a drone. It's a symbol of how technology is always evolving and adapting to our needs. And it's a reminder that we have the power to shape the future of technology
Yeah.
by choosing the products we support and the uses we embrace.
That's a powerful message.
So we encourage all of our listeners to keep exploring, keep learning,
Yeah,
and engage with technology in thoughtful and meaningful ways.
absolutely.
And if you want to learn more about the DJI Flip or any other exciting tech developments,
Yeah.
be sure to subscribe to Le Podcast du Philippe on YouTube.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
And we'll see you next time.